On the third day of hearings for the House Select Committee investigating January 6th, they honed in on Donald Trump and his threats toward his own vice president, Mike Pence. He engaged in a pressure campaign. He incited violence against Mike Pence. And one of the moments that stood out was some of Ivanka Trump's testimony about the way Donald Trump had communicated with Pence about essentially overturning the election unilaterally. Now, in the next video, you'll learn about Ivanka's reaction to how Trump pressured Pence to decide the election results on Trump's behalf and how angry he got when Pence refused to do so.
It was a different tone than I'd heard him take with the vice president before.
Did Ms. Trump share with you any more details about what had happened, or any details about what had happened in the Oval Office that morning?
That her dad had just had an upsetting conversation with the vice president.
The word that she relayed to that the president called the vice president, I apologize for being impolite, but do you remember what she said her father called him?
The P word.
The P word meaning the same thing that Donald Trump likes to grab without consent. So he was referring to Mike Pence with that word, and I mean that's just really the tip of the iceberg. The tweets about Mike Pence on January 6th, as the riots were taking place, to essentially continue inciting the violence and the threats against Pence. Also, the fact that he had mentioned Pence multiple times in rally speeches in the days leading up to January 6th. All of that was going on, and it would take Trump 4 hours to finally tell the rioters to calm down. And remember, Mike Pence had to evacuate the area. He had to be taken to safety because you had this giant crowd of Trump supporters chanting that they were about to hang him. And one other video I want to go to is this next one. It's a brief video that shows that no, it was clear that if they had gotten to Mike Pence on January 6th, they were planning to possibly kill him and others. Let's watch.
A confidential informant from the Proud Boys told the FBI the Proud Boys would have killed Mike Pence if given a chance. This witness, whom the FBI affidavit refers to as W1, stated that other members of the group talked about things they did that day, and they said that anyone they got their hands on, they would have killed, including Nancy Pelosi. W1 further stated that members of the Proud Boys said that they would have killed Mike Pence if given a chance.
And I've said multiple times on this show, when people tell you who they are or what they're gonna do, especially if they're on the right wing, you should believe them. And luckily they didn't get to Mike Pence or any other member of Congress. It's actually shocking how few people died, considering the incitements toward violence and just how giant that crowd was and how much they overpowered authorities on that day.
Yeah, so they also testified that the rioters were 40 feet from Mike Pence as they were evacuating him. So they got super close. And you saw the quotes there. If they had reached him, they were planning to kill him. And so Mike Pence, no, upon seeing all the details, we can disagree with him until the cows come home. And you can say it's a low bar, and it is. But he was a bit of a hero that day. He was, okay? So they are gonna escort him, they get him to a secret bunker. As they're taking him down, by the way, the timing on this is really important. So earlier, Trump gets the notice that the rioters are in the building and everybody's life is in danger. So he's already talked to Republican politicians. At 2:24, he sends another angry tweet about Pence, knowing that the rioters are in the building, knowing that they're trying to harm him, right? At 2:26, 2 minutes after the tweet, Secret Service is like, we gotta go. Because I don't know what the Secret Service was saying, they didn't testify. But remember, they were reading tweets out loud. The rioters were, and we saw a video of that. Everybody's aware, and inside the Capitol, everybody's calling Trump, God damn it, get the rioters off of us, right? So they're all looking for Trump to tweet something. So my guess is Secret Service saw the tweet and thought, oh, that's it, we gotta get the vice president to safety, because it looks like the president's supporters are looking to murder him, and the president has just encouraged them. Hey, Republicans, do you understand why we say it's fascist? It's not just a rhetorical flourish. We're not just saying it to attack you guys. Look, Pence met with Trump and reiterated that day, sorry, this theory makes no sense. I'm not gonna do it. I cannot overrule the American people. I'm not gonna end democracy today, right? And he said at one point, one person can't decide the election. And Trump said to him, but wouldn't it be cool if they could?
He literally used the word cool.
Yeah, that's a quote. Come on, Republicans. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And then when Pence said, no, it wouldn't be cool. No, I'm not gonna do that. He said, Mike, if you do this, you won't be my friend anymore.
He said that.
I know, it's a quote, okay?
I won't be your friend anymore if you don't dismantle democracy single-handedly on my behalf.
But there's two possibilities there, Anna. One is he's a child. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we were fascist dictators? Okay, and but they won't be your friend anymore. I take the ball and go home. The other possibility is more like a mob boss. This is, but wouldn't it be cool if one person could overturn the election? And now, Mike, you gotta understand, if you go out of this room and you don't do what I tell you, we're not gonna be friends anymore.
Yeah, and like a mob boss, I mean, he targeted him with violence, incited violence toward him, and as he was in an incredibly vulnerable state, continued to incite violence toward him. So look, we've talked about what the point of these hearings are. I know that there are still people who are skeptical, mostly because we've all been conditioned at this point to never expect anything to come out of any hearing, regardless of how persuasive the hearing might be. But really, the ball is in Merrick Garland's court. And if there isn't any real consequence for John Eastman, for Donald Trump, for the very people, the people at the top who incited the violence and attempted to overturn the results of a democratic process, well then, we understand that this kind of attempt could happen again in the future. There are consequences for the American people when people in positions of power are not held accountable with actual criminal consequences. A good example of that, honestly, is what happened in the aftermath of the Bush administration. Not prosecuting the Bush administration for war crimes sends a strong message to people in positions of power that they can essentially do whatever they want and they never have to worry about accountability within our system. That is the message that's been sent to them over and over again, which is what emboldened people like John Eastman to just try this out. What do we have to lose? It's not like we're gonna suffer any consequences from it.
Yeah. One more thing about why Pence is a hero. So Secret Service then tried, once they got him to the secure location, they tried to get him in the car. And most of his team got in the car. He wouldn't do it. He said, I'm not leaving. I'm not gonna have the world see the Vice President of the United States fleeing from our own capital because they're threatening basically my life. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stay here and we're gonna finish this vote. And he stayed in that bunker for 4.5 hours. The reason it had to be 4.5 hours is because it took another 2 hours from the moment that they were trying to save his life and evacuate him for Trump to finally come out with a statement saying, okay, you guys are amazing, I love you, I love the love that you showed. You guys are wonderful, but okay, maybe we go home, okay? No, we didn't get him this time, maybe we go home, okay? It took 2 hours while his vice president was under threat of murder for him to finally put out a statement once he saw that his thugs had not murdered his own vice president. Republicans, what is wrong with you? So that is the point of these hearings. There's 2 points. One is to set the record straight. And honestly, some of these details I didn't know. I didn't know about the Pence in the bunker, etc. And I didn't know that he refused to leave. There's a lot that we're learning through this, and that's really important. It's important for all of us to know it. But the second reason is for Republicans and independent voters to go, oh, I see. Jesus, I didn't know that. If they'll ever watch, if they'll ever listen, and we don't know if they will, but you gotta try. And of course, for God's sake, to Anna's point, will you prosecute anyone in the elites who's committed a crime? And that's why they do it. Understand the reason why Obama let Bush and Cheney off is because he had more loyalty to the elites than he did to the rule of law and to the voters.
And we suffer the consequences of that.
And that led to Trump saying, what's the difference? Wouldn't it be cool if we were fascists?
Right.
And so now if Merrick Garland makes the same mistake and thinks, no, I'm more loyal to the elites than I am to the rule of law, we're screwed. The next time any Republican wins, they're definitely gonna try this.